Joker, fully a do. Or should I say, fully a don't. Because that movie was not it.
What? No, not like that. No, it is like that.
Joker 2 was one of my most anticipated movies of 2024. And if you had told me a year ago it was going to be a better musical than a movie, I wouldn't have believed you. I had super high hopes that this sequel was not going to skip a beat.
And I was wrong.
And no, it's not just because it's a musical, but more so because of the success of the first Joker movie and the way it just, had everybody in a chokehold. That joint literally had me in shock, bro.
You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray.
Plus, with the Joker's, or should I say Arthur Fleck's newfound fame, I had high expectations. I wanted to see what the impact of one really, really bad day could do to a city like Gotham, a place full of corruption and chaos. But unfortunately, that's just not what we got. But before we get too deep into the review, I do want to say that I did enjoy watching this movie from an artistic standpoint. But, after the dust settled and I left the theater, the analytical side of my brain just ended up coming to a different conclusion.
You don't say!
But one thing I do have to credit them on is they know how to set the tone. They did a great job of creating an atmosphere of psychosis and unease and just an eerie feeling throughout the film. The sights and sounds of this movie were on point from start to finish. But see, my main issue is with the story and their approach to the characters. Going into Joker fully I can't lie, bro. I was expecting to witness the performance of a lifetime.
Let's give the people what they want.
Liar!
Something of legend, almost akin to the likes of, Heath Ledger.
And how dare you?
I know, that's a lot to ask for. But after watching Joker in 2019, I saw the potential for them to really take it there. Because I thought their initial approach to the character left a lot of room for creativity. Creativity that could bring out a deeper, darker version of the character and almost bring the Joker to life by doing one key thing, and that was giving us insight to the psyche of the Joker, rather than focusing on the theatrics of the persona.
I thought my jokes were bad.
But if you ask me, the story, and let's be honest, the writers failed to live up to the hype with this one.
But wait! There's more!
Now, I actually think they did an excellent job establishing the baseline at the beginning of the movie, whether you are seeing Joker for the first time or you saw the first movie. And by doing that, you kind of, set the stage for where they're going to take us in this movie. Which, to just, put it bluntly, Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker, was finally going to have his day in court.
Objection irrelevant.
Now, if you ask me, they spent way too much time trying to distinguish if Joker was the real Arthur Fleck or a separate personality. Personally, I don't have a problem with this approach to storytelling one bit. My problem lies in the response. A watered down Joker.
Well, he's not.
That Joker that went crazy on the Murray Show was nowhere to be found. At least, in the real world. Because I thought the whole point of the first movie was to showcase that snap, that flip that turned Arthur Fleck into someone else, into something else, the Joker.
And here we go.
Sure, we spent a lot of time just seeing Arthur get pushed around and bullied, but when the Joker showed up, it was short, it was violent, it was impactful, and it created a moment. See, this movie is missing that punch, that oomph that the first movie had. Sure, it was great to look at and listen to, but when it's all said and done, it feels like they betrayed the characters' identities.
If you just do stuff and nothing happens, what's it all mean? What's the point?
That goes for Harley Quinn too, or in this case, Lee Quinzel. The change to her backstory was unnecessary, and it didn't lend to the story at all. All it did was cause more confusion in distinguishing her motivations.
I still don't get it.
Don't get me wrong, Lady Gaga's performance as Lee was good. I just think being able to see her actually descend into madness versus her already being crazy is a way more interesting storyline. But instead, they just used her to, jumpstart a broken Joker. Granted, I think the chemistry between Arthur and Lee was actually pretty good. Shoot, some might even say they match each other's freak.
Stop it. Get some help.
But let's get back to some positives I found in Joker 2. I love the way that they use power dynamics throughout the film. It created tonal shifts and established different hierarchies depending on the situation. And seeing Arthur navigate those situations and even flipping them in some cases was interesting. Even though it didn't always feel very Joker-like to me, it was still dope to see because it helped establish a certain fluidity to the different Fola Do moments between Arthur and Lee, especially early on in the movie. And, you know, I gotta say, bro, for a small portion of this film, it really did feel like their world and we were just living in it, which obviously speaks to the title of the movie. I just wish they leaned all the way into it.
That's why no one will remember your name.
Unfortunately, they seem to consistently trample over their own plot points time and time again. And just when you think they're making some progress, they find a way to send themselves back to the start again. And I constantly just found myself waiting and waiting for, you know, Joker to get his act together.
I seen you pull somebody's jawbone off. I synced it.
And that content loop right there, in my opinion, is the reason why this movie got so much negative feedback and, you know, even walkouts in some cases. Not for me personally, but it did happen while I was watching the movie. And if I'm being honest, I don't blame them, bro, because this movie constantly contradicts itself.
Are you f***ing dumb?
It got to the point where it was almost like everybody else understood what it meant to be Joker except Arthur. And the reason why I say that is because at the end of the day, Joker needs a Batman. He needs motivation. He needs a North Star.
You complete me.
And in Joker 2, they tried to make the system or, you know, Gotham City that North Star. But it just wasn't enough. Sure, some crazy stuff was still happening in his mind, but nothing major happened in reality. I can't necessarily say that. They did have a couple moments that went crazy in this movie, but by that time, the damage was already done.
Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
So let's just cut to the chase, man. Was Joker Fola Ado a good movie?
Of course. Really? No.
I think it was an okay musical, or at least the parts, you know, where they were singing. And who knows, man, they possibly might win some awards for the music in this one.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Let's keep it a buck, bro. You know, Joker really, or Arthur Fleck really went from being a wannabe stand-up comedian to doing his best Frank Sinatra impersonation or impression, if we want to be technical. And you know, Lady Gaga is going to Lady Gaga when it comes to singing. So are there good moments in this movie?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
One thing that definitely surprised me was how much they made the music matter and how we got to see it really build throughout the film. But other than that, this movie leaves a lot to be desired, which is why I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 G-File score, which still might be too generous because this movie might go down as one of the most tragic sequels in history. And that's all I really got to say about Joker 2, man. They just missed the mark on this one. But if you enjoyed this review, here's another one that we think you will like. And before you go, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button to see more content. And yeah, I'll see you next Friday. Peace.